Erev Tov, everyone. It's so great to be together, celebrating Havdalah tonight, and also dedicating our donor board for our Living Torah project, our Sacred Spaces project. We're going to jump right in and start with the Havdalah ceremony as we say goodbye to Shabbat and welcome the rest of the week. So I'd like to invite Rabbi and Cheryl Englander to help us with all of the parts of the Havdalah service, and we're also going to ask Arlene to do some readings in between the prayers. We need some wine. Thank you, Emma. Anything but water is good. You can actually make Havdalah about anything but water if you don't have wine. So.
Whatever wine is coming, it's not going to be Manischewitz, and you know why.
No, we bought about a year's supply. We have Manischewitz here.
All right.
So we start with the words Layehudim Haita Ora, Ora V'Simcha, Sason Vikar, which means for the Jews we enjoyed light and gladness, honor and joy. May we too experience these same blessings. These words come from the book of Esther.
Layehudim Haita Ora, V'Simcha V'Sason Vikar. Layehudim Haita Ora, V'Simcha V'Sason Vikar.
Kinei Yeshuati evtach below evchad, ki ozi b'zimrat ya Adonai vayihili lishua, kos Yeshuot esa, Hashem Adonai ekra. Behold, God is my redeeming power, trusting in the eternal, I am not afraid. For God is my strength and my song and has become my redemption. I shall lift up the cup of redemption and call out in the name of God.
Moses received the Torah at Mount Sinai. He transmitted it to Joshua. Joshua in turn passed it to the elders, and the elders to the prophets. The prophets transmitted the Torah to the sages of the great assembly. The sages taught 3 things: be deliberate in judgment, raise up many disciples, and protect the integrity of the Torah. From Pirkei Avot 1:1. In Pirkei Avot 6:6, we learn of the many ways in which Torah is acquired: by study, attentive listening, proper speech, by an understanding heart, by an intelligent heart, by awe, by fear, by humility, by joy, by attending to the sages. Be critical, give and take with friends. Have fine argumentation with disciples, by clear thinking, by study of Tanakh, by study of Mishnah, by generosity, by faith in the sages, by acceptance of suffering. One also acquires Torah by one who recognizes one's place, who rejoices in their portion, who makes offense about their words, who is loved, who loves God, who loves fellow creatures, who loves righteous ways, who leads people on to peace, who composes oneself at one's study, who asks and answers, who listens to others, who adds to their own knowledge, who learns in order to teach, who learns in order to practice, who makes their teacher wiser, who is exact in what they have learned, and who, when they share something they have learned, give credit to the name of the person who said it. The Torah is a living document. While some contemporary Jews may think of the Torah as a static, fixed book, the Torah has always been read aloud or chanted as an essential part of weekly Shabbat and holiday synagogue ritual. This declamatory aspect of Torah reading involves response and the rich history of Torah commentary has developed and continues to depend on the listener's familiarity with the oral text. Public reading brings together the intensely personal encounter with sacred text, with the shared experience of hearing the text chanted or read aloud, mirroring the communal experience of prayer, which for Jews always frames the public reading of Torah. Each person is challenged to listen with concentrated attention, both as a member of the community and as an individual, hearing the words each time as if it were for the first time. From Rabbi Sue Levy Elwell, The Torah, a Woman's Commentary. While the giving of Torah, Matan Torah, occurred on the 6th of Sivan, Kabbalat Torah, receiving the Torah, can't be restricted to any particular day. Rather, it is an ongoing enterprise that occurs whenever a Jew sits and is Amel B'Torah, immersed in Torah. The separation of giving and receiving implies that God's giving of the Torah is no guarantee that it will be received. Receiving the Torah is a personal enterprise involving intellectual, spiritual, and emotional dimensions, as well as the readiness to persevere. Sometimes the struggle is to master content, sometimes to organize material, and sometimes it is a struggle with ideas. Sometimes it can simply be a struggle to remain in one's seat and persist. Rabbanit Chadnat Penken Dikur from Nishmat.
Eliyahu,
So we're here not only for Havdalah tonight, but also to celebrate the success of creating our own new Torah and creating not only the Torah, but also the funds that will carry us forward to continue making this a very sacred space. So tonight we're going to take out the Torah itself, and we're going to dedicate the me'il, the purple mantle that's on it, and the silver that is also part of it, because we do this for what's called Hidur Mitzvah, which means taking the time and the effort to create or acquire beautiful ceremonial objects possible to enrich religious observance with aesthetic dimensions, which in plain English means we take beautiful objects and make them part of our ritual and spiritual life. So I invite you to rise as we take the Torah out of the ark. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai miYerushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Gadol Adonai iti, u'neromema Shemo yachdav. We'll do that part later. So we have not only this beautiful Torah scroll, but also the beautiful me'il, the cover that adorns it, and the silver. And we're very grateful to those who have donated that. Harold Botnick, who donated one of the mantles in honor of the founding members of Solel, and the Solel Bingo volunteers who helped us acquire all the beautiful silver, and the Atzei Chaim that were made by Joel Brown by hand. And we say, Ze'e li v'anvehu, this is my God whom I will glorify, which means perform mitzvot in God's honor, creating beautiful ritual objects. Make a beautiful sukkah, a beautiful lulav, a beautiful shofar, beautiful tzitzit, and beautiful Torah. We read this in the Talmud, and it says, with that Torah, write that Torah for its own sake in fine ink, with a fine pen, engaging an expert scribe, and wrap it in a beautiful cover. So, we say, V'ha'er einenu, V'ha'er einenu b'toratecha, v'da'abek libeinu v'mitzvotecha, v'yached levadenu, le'ahava u'yira et shemecha, v'lo nevosh, v'lo nikaleh, v'lo nikashem, le'olam va'ed, v'ha'er einenu b'toratecha, v'da'abek libeinu v'mitzvotecha, v'yached levadenu, le'ahava u'yira et shemecha. Which means enlighten our eyes in your Torah that we may fulfill your mitzvot, O God. Unite our hearts to love and respect your name. And so we now formally dedicate our new Torah cover, our Choshen, our Rimonim, our Yad, welcoming them to our new home in Solel's sanctuary. May they always add beauty to our celebrations and deepen our commitment to loving and living a fulfilling Jewish life. Now, Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hativeret v'haneitzat v'hahod ki ho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz ki ho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz Lecha Adonai Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, haolam, amen. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, haolam. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, haolam, omein. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ve'al gemilut chasadim. Well, not only are we going to see the accoutrements of the Torah, but we're actually going to see the Torah tonight. Thought it would be lovely to actually read a little bit of Torah in honor of this occasion and also in honor of Jerry and Nancy Willis, Zichronam Livracha. So, I'd like to call upon Dave and Rita Grossman and also Harold Portnoy, who are our donors of the 5 books of Moses, if you would come up. We also are thinking about Michael Lear and Heather Lynn Wilson, who are also part of the group of donors of the 5 books of Moses. You would take it off so that we can read the Torah. Unfortunately, Michael and Heather Lynn were not able to be here tonight. Just put them over there. And you can be seated. So it is not a morning Torah reading tonight. So rather than recite the traditional blessings over Torah, we're going to ask 3 of you to recite the words that we say each morning in terms of the learning and study of Torah. I think we're all familiar with the passage, La'asok b'divrei Torah. And the section that I'm going to read is one of Jerry's favorite sections of Torah. It is the passage where Joseph reunites with his brothers, and he says to his brothers, I am Joseph. That's the passage right after his brothers reveal themselves to him, and he can't keep it together any longer, and he sends his servants out of the room, but they can hear the weeping and the crying as they reunite with one another.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivonu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen. V'lo amad, okay. V'lo yachol Yosef lehitapek lechol hanitzavim alav vayikru Hotziu kol ish me'ad velo amad ish ito behitvadah Yosef el achiv. Vayitein et kolo bivchi vayishma Mitzrayim vayishma beit Paro vayomer Yosef el achiv ani Yosef ha'od avichai. I am Joseph. Does my father still live? Velo yochlu echav la'anot oto ki nivhulu mipanav vayomer Yosef el achiv geshuna elai vayigashu vayomer ani Yosef achichem asher mechartem oti Mitzrayma. There is no blessing after. Mazel tov, yeshar koach. And if you would help me put it back together.
Okay.
There you go. That's the back. Turn it back. Yeah, this is the front, yeah.
Oh, sorry, this is the front.
Do you want to show it to everybody before you put it on? So, the back of it tells us that it was dedicated by our congregation in 5784 in honor of our 50th anniversary. We are very grateful to the artist that made this for us, Joey Silver in Jerusalem. The front of the cover, which I'll show you in a moment. So the name of our congregation is, what's the name of our congregation? What does Solel mean? Pathway, pathfinder. So the verse that's on the front of it, Salu, Salu HaMesilah, clear the way for the path, is a piece of the text from Isaiah chapter 57, verse 14. Because this is it was our 50th anniversary Torah, we thought it fitting that that should be the inscription on the front of the cover. Please be seated. I'm going to ask Rabbi Englinger to join me on the bima to say a few words about Jerry and Nancy Willis. As I think most of you know, without their generous donation, we would not have been able to start this campaign at all. So,
How many of you here actually knew Jerry? Yeah, okay, I mean, if you were around when he was, it would be impossible not to know him. But he was an amazing person. To give a little plug, my brother Stuart actually wrote a biography of Jerry, and what a career he had. It reads like a picaresque novel. As a teenager, underage, he ran away from home and joined the Merchant Navy. He wanted to do something to contribute to the war effort, but he didn't want to fire any weapons, and so or harm anybody. So as a result, he went into the Merchant Navy. He traveled over many parts of the world, including Israel, where the ship landed for a while. And then in the high holidays of 1973, he came to Solel. The reason that was important was he came first of all and said to me, I would like to convert to Judaism. I've learned a lot about it, and this is really where I feel I belong. And no sooner did I say welcome than the radios came on, and it was the Yom Kippur War. So that was a really tense high holidays that we had. And Jerry went through the course, and very soon thereafter, he always had this love for Torah. And many times from this very bima, he read from Torah, but he also learned some of the arts of Torah and taught it to the kids in the religious school. So he learned how to sew the different segments of the parchment together with sinew that's known as gidin. He sent Cheryl and me chasing around the old city of Jerusalem to find this obscure shop that sold them, and we brought them back for him. And as Rabbi Pollack has mentioned, this particular parasha that was read this evening, Jerry would read it when it came round that time of year, if there wasn't a bar bat mitzvah. And as he read it, he would burst into tears. I am Joseph, is my father still alive? And he would say, I have been searching for my brothers, and here I found them, my brothers and sisters. So near the end of his life, Nancy, of course, was his mainstay through all of it, and eventually she chose Judaism as well. And then she passed away, unfortunately, and Jerry said, I know I'm coming near the end of my life, and I would like to make a significant endowment to this community of my brothers and sisters. What can I do? And we were sitting around the board table over there. We were kicking around several ideas. And then, as Arlene often does, she came up with the idea and she said, Jerry, what about dedicating a Torah scroll? He immediately took to the idea, and we said, we're going to back you up, Jerry, that he gave the seed money for the project. And then we started this campaign where we all made a contribution to it. And bit by bit, letter by letter, word by word, we finally got to complete the Torah scroll, which our Soferet, our scribe, beautifully did for us. And that brings us to us standing here this day. So we really owe a tremendous debt to Jerry and to Nancy for just for their spirit dwelling within our community, and for this wonderful project that they were able to help us bring to life.
So a blessing in their honor and their memory for both Jerry and for Nancy. Which was on a page, here it is. A life well lived is one that is a blessing and an inspiration to those who come after, touched and illuminated by the life of Jerry and Nancy Willis, Zichronam Livracha, whose generosity seeded our Living Torah and Sacred Safe Spaces project. We say, Yehi Zichram Bruchim, may their memory continue to bless us and inspire us to our acts of goodness and dedication. Amen. I'd like to also recognize our major donors for the campaign, as well as our minor donors, everyone that contributed to make this project and this Torah possible. Because without any of you, we wouldn't be here tonight, but not only would we not be here tonight, we wouldn't have this new beautiful Torah scroll that we look forward to having many, many generations of Solel next read from. We have had the honor for some of our B'nai Mitzvah students this year to also be reading from it as we began the year, and we look forward to all who will come forward and have the opportunity to read and learn from Torah. So especially, I want to thank our major donors. I'd already mentioned Dave and Rita and Harold and Michael and Heather Lynn and Harold Botnick, Joel and Sandy for the beautiful Atzei Chaim, and the bingo volunteers for giving us the beautiful silver accoutrements. We also want to recognize those who donated special passages, Sherry Amar, and Sherry was also very instrumental in helping us make this project happen, because she and Jerry were very close. Michael Zeidman and Ann Bayless, Rabbi and Larry Englander and Cheryl Englander, John and Brenda Lucen, Phil and Linda Palter, Kevin and Cheryl Shine, Shauna Skryslow and Jen Smith, the Botnick family, Jeff Friedman and Sonia Trevisanella, and Nicole Hansen, and Les and Bev Rothschild, Eleanor Stock, the women of Solel, Roz, Alan and Chris Sarar, the DeJangiro family, Jill and Jack Dybel, Gavin and Shirley Herman, Christina Landstrom Jaffe, Elaine and Nino Mancini, Judy Miller, Dennis and Sue Norton, Lena Rule and Emma Weisenbluth, Yolanda Smith, Marlene Tash and Tom Dennis, and Zach Harper, and everyone that is here tonight. I'd like you all to stand so that I can offer a blessing for all of you who have donated to make this beautiful Torah scroll and this beautiful space that we are in happen. So please rise. This is a special blessing for donors that comes from the book of Exodus, where we read about the building of the Mishkan, the first sacred space that our ancestors created in the wilderness. God spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel. Me'et kol ish asher yidbenu livo tikhu et trumati. From every person who is moved by generosity of the heart, accept gifts for me." We celebrate the legacy of those moved by their generosity and free will, who built and established our very first holy communal space, the Mishkan. They gave of gold and silver and copper and purple and crimson yarns, fine woods and items from near and far. And today, you have volunteered your time and your resources to create this beautiful community that we cherish. We call you Nedivim, those who are generous. We know you as Nedivim, those who are kind. We look to you as Nedivim, those who volunteer, and we respect you as Nidve Amo, those who are leaders among our people. And we offer thanks to you who sustain us just as you give thanks to God, declaring, "Benidva ezvacha lach odeh shimcha Adonai." With a generous gift, I make an offering to you, O God. I give thanks to your name. We are grateful to Adonai for all of the blessings in our lives. And may God bless all of you always, and bless all of us with such wonderful, generous, and heart-giving people. Amen. Mazel tov. It's my pleasure now to call upon the president of our congregation, John Lewson, who would like to share some thanks for some other folks that I haven't thanked yet. Thank you. Go ahead.
So tonight's celebration marks the culmination of our successful Living Torah and Sacred Space project. And I realized this project actually spanned 6 years. It was launched shortly after Rabbi Pollock told our board, and this was back in June of 2019, that we would need to consider how we're going to find funds for to replace our aging Torah. And as I think about it, what makes this campaign so impressive? So first, as we heard earlier, it was triggered and inspired by the generosity of Jerry Willis. Second, the campaign kickoff actually happened during the pandemic, and it continued through our Solel at 50 celebrations, ending early this year, and we were at 97% of our ambitious $250,000 target, and 2 major donations came in and put us over the top. And third, the record number of Solel community, 2/3 of our community contributed to this. So together, the combination of the number of people and the generous donations, you have made such a difference to Solel. For those who were able to participate in the Torah dedication last year, we have photos of you and the Seferet, Rabbi Yonah Levery, and please remember to pick up your envelopes before you leave tonight. And we also have a copy of the book that Stuart England did, the biography of Jerry. So please remember to pick those up. Anybody who was here, we have your photographs. Who was at the dedication, we have your photographs. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the large group of people who worked on this project over the period of the 6 years. So starting with Rabbi Pollock and Rabbi Englander and Arlene, we had a committee that included the initial committee, the sort of seed committee, starting committee. We included the two of them, as well as Cheryl Englander and Sherry Amar. Dennis Norton was chair. Rita Halpern was involved. Robin Botnick was then the current president, and Roz Allen, her successor. And over the period, some people left and we moved on, and the project continued, and Michael Kuhlbeck took over as chair, and together with Gavin Herman and Rabbi Pollock and Les Rothschild and Chris Sarah, I had the honor of working with this group as the current president. So I need to also express our special appreciation to Rita, who remained, although she left the committee, just remained active throughout and has helped us continuously reconciling, proving to me that we had raised what we said we were going to raise, reconciling the numbers, putting together the gifts, and keeping me up to speed on the history of the project. So Rita's been a great help to us too. And I wanted to acknowledge the support of Cheryl Englander and Linda Sage Alexander, who helped with selection of the mantle and the yad and the crown. And we're also the liaison with Joey Silva in Israel, who sewed the two beautiful mantles for us. And it's 3 o'clock in the morning, so Joey's not watching this, but I promised to send him the link to the live stream. And then we've mentioned the beautiful cherrywood Archheim that Joel made, produced and carved. And then I want to also acknowledge many of our donors who are joining us on the live stream tonight. Some of them are out of town, some of them told me they're out of town, others are regulars, but I want to give a special acknowledgement to you. And when we show you the donor board, we will make sure that you'll be able to see it, so everyone should feel part of that. And I wanted to then just take up, what does this fundraising mean for Solel? Well, firstly, we did get our new Torah, beautiful new Torah, and we're using it, which is wonderful. But it also means that we can continue the renewal of our sacred space. So we have samples here of the carpeting that we're going to want to install through the summer, and we also go to enhance the lighting so we'll all be able to read the Torah more easily and see each other. We also have funds that we'll be able to contribute to the endowment fund, so that will ensure that we always have funds going forward for the maintenance of our Torahs. So before we turn our focus on the beautifully crafted donor board, which we're going to reveal in a moment, I wanted to end by thanking all who helped with planning and setting the celebration and the celebratory honor tonight. And I hope that you will join us and we'll party together. So my thanks go to Brenda, to Miriam, to Ruth, to Ethan and Michael Kuhlbeck, and also to appreciation to Carol, Leo, Nilon, and Horace for all of your practical support. So I think the time has come when we actually see the new donor board, and I'm going to ask our current committee members, Michael, Chris, Gavin, if you want to, and Les, if you want to join us, and let's show you our donor board.
Achat, shtayim, shalosh. Would you read for us what it says? Not all the names, but what it says there. Everybody's name is on there.
So, thank you to our Living Torah project donors. with deep appreciation in the honor of the generous individuals who contributed to our Solel Living Torah and Sacred Space project. The seed funding provided by Solel members Gerald and Nancy Willis, and the unwavering support of the donors recognized here will ensure a bright future for our communities. Thank you for your generous commitment and generosity.
Thank you, Michael. And a huge thanks to all of our committee members who worked so hard to make this happen, and all who, throughout the course of this 6-year project, worked really hard to make this a beautiful Torah and a beautiful acknowledgement of what we have created together as a community. Please join me in the singing of She'achiyanu to mark this special day. Mazel tov, everyone. And thank you. Toda, toda rabah. Great thanks to all of you. Just a short announcement before we go in and celebrate all of you with some beautiful refreshments, delicious refreshments. I want to bring to your attention the fact that we are about to open registration for the WZO elections. This happens once every 5 or so years. Is that correct, Les? 5 years? And if you're not familiar with it, this is the time that the greater Jewish community across the world gets to vote for representation in terms of how allocations are made for communities in Israel. It's very important for us to get as many as possible people to vote for reform. We want to continue to support Reform Judaism in Israel, and this is an opportunity for us to raise our own voices towards making that happen so that Reform communities will be supported, not only monetarily, because some of it does speak to the funding, but also if we have delegates that are part of the WZO board, then they get to make decisions that will affect the future of liberal Judaism, of Reform Judaism in Israel, and the values that we hold dear that are most important: egalitarianism, the rights for Reform Jews to have the same rights as any other synagogue community, to have funding from the government, etc. There will be information coming out very soon. Registration opens April 30th, and voting starts June 5th. Vote for reform. And I'm on the ballot, so vote for me as a delegate. That will help you remember to vote. All right, so now let's go party.